Alright, we're gonna do a quick Achilles guide. Achilles is my most played character, so I am very comfortable playing him, and I have been owning in ranked with this character recently. I had, in like my last 10 games or so, I've had like a 13-0, an 11-2, a 14-1, an 18-1. Like, this character is really, really strong right now. So I'm gonna go over how he kind of works, what you want to do on him, and some advanced tactics that will let you kind of dominate lane and also like play late game fights really well on this god. So let's get into the quick stuff first, like the overview. So we're going to look at all of the skills. We've got Shield of Achilles, Radiant Glory, Combat Dodge, and Fatal Strike. So your one Shield of Achilles is just a cone, and it hits for pretty good range, and immediately in front of you, it is going to stun. Your 2 Radiant Glory is one of the most powerful skills in the game. This ability buffs you for 4 seconds, and it increases your protections, it increases your power, it gives you crowd control reduction, and when you hit with abilities, you're going to heal. So if I hit this and then I hit a 1, you see the green, that's me healing, and you can get up to 3 heals from each ability when you use that. Your 3 combat dodge is an omnidirectional dodge, so whichever way I'm going, I will dash, do a short distance dash, and then I can press it again to throw a spear. How you use this is you want to like auto cancel with it, and it's very, very strong damage, and you get to use it twice if you hit an enemy god with it. Lastly, your ultimate Fatal Strike is you charge up and then you can execute a target. So if they're under 35% maximum health, they just die. If you execute a god with this ability, you get to use it again. So you can chain multi-kills with your execute on Achilles, which is really, really powerful. The leveling order I do is combat dodge first, then Shield of Achilles, although at level 1 I take shield. Then you rank up your Radiant Glory, and then you rank up your ultimate last, just put 1 point in it at level 5, and then do the rest at level 17, 18, 19, 20. In terms of items, what I'm going right now is Sundering Axe, Blackthorn Hammer, Gladiator's Shield, Oni Hunter's Garb, Mantle of Discord, and Archdruid's Fury. This is going to give you insane procs in the late game. When I press my 2, I'm over 300 of both protections. And you also get percentage mitigation off of the Oni Hunter's Garb, as well as really good proc damage off of the Gladiator's Shield, the Sundering Axe, and the Archdruids. So this is definitely what I would build, and that's a quick overview of the skills and how you want to use them. So now I'm going to go over some more advanced Achilles tactics and things like how to play the early game, how to clear the wave, and your buffs and stuff. So on Achilles, definitely I like to go Blink. You can definitely play to blink stun on the backline, and that's really good, especially if you have a mage that can follow up on it. And then you want to use your 3 to maneuver around in the fight and get your auto cancels in. So I'll teach you how to do the auto cancel on his 3. So always put the 3 on instant cast, and then you'll dash in whatever direction you are pointing, and then it'll give you this targeter. And instead of throwing it right away, what you want to do is you want to dash and right click instantly, and then you want to left click to auto, then hit the ability button again, and then auto again. So I'll show you what that looks like when I do it fast. It's like, I could be chasing, I go like this, like that. And that gives you a ton of damage really quickly. So you always want to right click off of that. The other thing that you can do that I like to do a lot is actually dash up to somebody, auto cancel the 1, and then auto cancel the 3. And that is a good way to like close a little bit of gap, stun them, and then start laying damage into them really quickly. And then the only other thing that you want to really pay attention to with the 3 is that, you know, I've already hit a god with this one, so it's up right now, but if I do it again and I hit the god, now it went on cooldown and I can't use it again. So if you get 1 but you don't use it again, you want to just actually like throw it away so that it resets. You don't ever want to go into a fight with the reset cooldown up, so that when you use it, it doesn't reset again, and you don't get to use it. So let's talk about the early game on Achilles a little bit. In the early game, I always like to start without my passive up, with no armor on. This is going to give you extra movement speed and power. I should mention, the passive is in the fountain. You can left click when you see this symbol above your head to put on armor or to take it off. When you have the armor on, you gain protections and health, and it's like really powerful. It's like more than a full item. And when you have the armor off, you get extra power and movement speed. So in the early game, that movement speed and power is going to be really good, especially on the auto cancels. So on the first wave with Achilles, I'll show you how to clear the buffs actually. So the best way to clear the buffs in the early game, you go Golden Shard at the start. And what you want to do is you want to auto the middle guy and each side guy, and then you want to use your one and then finish autoing the middle dude. And you do that on both buffs. Really simple. And because Achilles has longer autos on his spear, you can actually, when you're kiting the buff, you can just hold S the whole time. And you won't get out of range. So you don't have to stutter step at all, which is really, really nice. Just helps you get to lane a little faster. Now, in terms of on the wave, Achilles doesn't have the best wave clear, but what he is really good at is fighting. So what's really important is on the first wave, you always want to stun the other god, right? So if he like comes up and is on the melees, I want to stun him, then I want to start autoing him, and then you want to reset your 3 on the other god and hit the wave with it. If you do that, then you will have more abilities than them because you get to use your 3 twice. You'll have hit the whole wave, and the archers will start hitting you, but it's honestly okay. Like, pop your potion, ticket, and you will notice that like you will do way more damage to the other person than they will do to you. You're going to have more power because of the passive, and you're going to have stunned them. You're going to get to reset this twice. It's 65 times 2. Not many abilities, like no abilities basically at rank 1 will be able to do that much damage. Plus you're repositioning, so like you can use it to dodge autos. So basically the first wave, like you want to hit the other guy, you want to pressure him, you want to force them back, and then with the Golden Shard you can just auto down the wave after you've done that basically. Some more advanced tactics. So in the late game, you typically want to put on your armor. I normally like to put on my armor around like the 15+ minute mark. The first time that I'm going to like TP to a fight or like TP to a Gold Fury or something, that's when I like to put on the armor. If I'm going to go defend a middle tower or a beacon at like 17 minutes, that's a really good time to put on your armor. And then you want to keep it on for the rest of the game. Especially because your Glad Shield and your Sundering Axe will just do more damage because of the armor, so you're not losing any damage by putting it on, but you are gaining a lot of tankiness. As you can see, I have like 3,600 health, and like I said, I have over 300 of each prots when I hit my 2. Some other things that you can do with Achilles is, again, using the 3. The 3 is really the most like important skill. If you're against a melee god and they're like autoing you and you're auto trading, and let's say they out trade you with autos, you want to like gap away from them, and then like as they come up you auto cancel them and then like gap away from them again, and like don't let them stick to you in the lane. So that's how you can beat a character like Bologna. You can also like make sure you're using your stun to cancel out abilities on enemy gods if you can, like against Nike or Bologna. Like you want to be canceling the Nike one or canceling the Bologna 2 pretty much whenever you can, and also try to hit the wave as well. That's going to let you trade really well. The other thing you want to pay attention to is like this lasts for 4 seconds, 5 seconds, let's say, right? And the cooldown is only 6.3 when you have full cooldown. So when you have full cooldown, you can basically just spam it. It's not a big deal. But before you have that, you want to make sure that you're only hitting your 2 when you have your 1 and your 3 up, so that you can also heal in the lane. Even if you're trading, and let's say like I have like 3 seconds left on my 1 to come up, but my 2 is up, I want to like try to avoid the guy, maybe trade a little bit, and then hit my 2 and like trade into him when those abilities are coming up. The only other thing is that for your ultimate, you really do not want to waste this ultimate. Like, it's better to hold your execute and not kill the person while they're low than to like use it and have them dodge it and now you don't have it, because the threat of the execute is just as good as actually landing it. So if the other character has a jump or a dash or any kind of movement ability, if they have an Aegis that they've bought, you do not want to use your execute on that character until you know that their Aegis is down, that their jump is down, that they are not going to be able to easily dodge it or avoid it. It is better to actually just keep auto trading them. Another thing that will happen is people will anticipate that you're going to execute them, and they will hold their jump until you actually kill them. They will just let you kill them with your autos and with your 1, because they're waiting for you to charge your execute so that they can dodge it. So that's a really good thing to do. And you also, like, in the late game, you don't necessarily want to go for execute on carries all the time. Again, unless you know that you're going to get it. The execute is really valuable against a late game tank. 35% health is very hard to chew through on like some of these tanky targets. So especially if they have like a less mobile guardian, like a Sylvanas or like an Emir, that guy is like food for you. And because you get resets off of that guy, then you can like see if you can get an execute on the back line and vice versa. You always want to go for the most guaranteed execute first. And then the only other thing that I like to do with the execute is on those tanky targets, especially if you know like they have a jump and they used it, but it could be coming back up soon. If your team is hitting a guy, you can start charging and then like anticipate them going under the execute threshold and hit them instantly as they go under that threshold. And it can be hard to time, you just got to practice it, but that is a really good tactic to use. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about with Achilles. That's kind of my in-depth mechanics guide and like how I like to play the character, what I would build. If there's anything else that you have a question about, leave me a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys.